Hello there, beautiful people. So welcome back. My name is Carol, the Tarot Reader, and today I'm going to be talking about the chakra system. So I did a chakra video a while back, and I just want to redo it. At the time, I was camping, and I decided just to draw something real quick and talk about it. But this time around, I guess I kind of just want to redo the video. So anyway, here we go. The chakra system. So the chakra system, what is the chakra system and what is it at its like basic core? Basically, it's like your life force, is your energy source, right? And there's like certain vital points that are located in our body. How many do we have in our body? We have several, we have a lot. To be honest, I really don't know. I feel like there are just several throughout our body. However, the ones that I'm going to be talking about are the ones that are most common and that you hear about, that are, I guess if our body was the roadmap, these would be states. They're not little streets, they're states, they're big. So anyway, let's start with the first one. So the first one is the crown, right? The crown that represents the color white. And the reason for this, I think, at least I'm going to speak from my perspective, I think it shows up as white because that is our like natural source, our natural God source, and where we come from. So it shows up as white, and that's our first connection there. And when we are connected and our crown's connected, that is when we are the most clear. Our intuition is kicking in. We just know certain things, like it's our space of knowing. And like, let me give an example of just a knowing, right? You ever meet a child or a kid who just always known they want to be a doctor? You meet a doctor and you're like, I've known that I wanted to be a doctor since I was a kid, and that was it. It was just done. There was no question about it. It was already in them, and that's a knowing. You don't need proof of anything. You just know. Or another example is if like you go down the street and it just feels weary on that side, right? And you're like, don't go on that street. Go this way better. You're like, why? I don't know. It just feels weird. I'm not going down to go this way. It's just a knowing, something within you that's telling you, don't go down that street. And that's what I want to say when it comes to white. It represents a lot of like clarity, intuition, and things of that nature. Now, I want to go to the third eye. Now, the third eye, that represents purple. Now, with purple is very strong. That's your intuition as well. But it's more of like, I want to say, you trusting your intuition and knowing what's true for you. That's really key important when it comes to that purple. And also when you trust it as well, like, man, this could make you a fantastic leader. This could make you a fantastic leader in all aspects. Whether you're the leader in your home, the leader in your work or your job, your career, whether you're an entrepreneur and you're running your own ship, or you're running your own home, or you are the manager of your position. Like when you're in tuned with your third eye, like you really know how to take charge because you could really see things for what they are. And it's a beautiful space to be. And when they say it's your third eye, it's like, you can't really be fooled here, but you can. If you become too indecisive, like let's say for whatever reason, you're too indecisive, it's like you might have that area blocked. Like it might be like a dark purple versus like a light purple where you could trust your own self. When you know you could trust your own self and your own intuition, and your own thoughts and your own actions and your own choices, I think that's why it makes like really good leaders, because you could make a choice and go with it and not be so indecisive, because a leader needs to know how to make choices without, well, I won't say without fear, because you could do them without fear, but you do them anyway. And then the next one I want to say is your throat. The throat chakra, that's blue. That shows up as blue. And this is your space of truth. Like how authentic are you with yourself and others, how you show up, and like how truthful are you in that sense, right? Like think about a time where you probably told a lie to an individual, and then you see that individual again, and instead of saying, oh, hi, how are you? Like, oh, I want to kind of avoid that person just because I don't want to deal with that, because something in your body will end up feeling kind of a little yucky, because you'll know you'll have to be untruthful just to keep on holding to that lie, I guess you want to say. And it's just really important. And I always feel like if it's like a dark Like if it shows up like a dark blue, then two things. That person isn't expressing their thoughts, or they're in a space, or whether in a relationship or at work, where they're not either allowed to express themselves, or they're in a space where they're not heard. Like they're not, even if they speak, they're not heard. And it's kind of, it's just a yucky situation. So it's really important for you to feel heard, and to kind of like, and to know what truth is, right? And if you're somebody who has like a lot of blue in you, or you just, yeah, blue is a color you're not. I'm actually wearing blue. Hey. This is also a person who likes to read and know information, because they want to know the truth of everything. And it's beautiful. Just don't get stuck in it too much, where you can't move on and look at the bigger picture of things, because you're too stuck on whatever that truth is. But you stand in your power when you learn things and you get to speak about them and teach them to other individuals, especially when other individuals want to learn about the same information. Then your blue will truly shine within you. All right, let's go to the next one. The next one is the heart chakra. Now, the heart chakra, I love this side of the space, because it's just a little space. But I want to also say that this is the space where you could feel energy the most easiest. Let's say you are not a person who is sensitive to energy. Energy is like, I don't know, you just don't understand it. It's like calculus to you. Then I would say this is the easiest space to feel it. And the reason why is because if you've ever been in love, or you ever felt love, your space is naturally gonna go, like you'll feel it. You're like in the air, butterflies, like you don't even know where your feet are at. And if you ever fall out of love, or you get that heart broken, then it's like you go from this to, you can't even stand up straight. You're like, you'll feel the collapse in your heart space. And that's the easiest space to actually feel energetically your heart chakra. Now, this space, for me, when I see it, it shows up in two different colors. It shows up in pink, and it shows up in green. It just really depends on the situation. So pink, I associate pink with like beauty, love, beauty, love. When you're in love, I've only seen like, I mentioned this before, like I don't see auras. Even though I may see colors within the person, I don't see the actual auras. However, I have seen pink auras more than once. And when I've seen this in individuals, that person tends to be like in love, like so much in love, to the point that I wouldn't trust that person with my money. But it's not a bad thing at all. It's just, they're just in love, their emotions, they're feeling themselves, they're excited. And then green is very healing. But when there's like a light green, like that light green is so light, it's because like that person's so excited, and they get to really express themselves and be creative, and out there creating things, out there getting pregnant and creating life of all sorts, right? Like your actual creative space. But the thing is that you're doing with love, with corazón and excitement, like, yes, I'm in my zone kind of vibe. And I think that's why it also represents healing, because it's like when you are in your zone and you get to be excited and express yourself, your creative side, whatever that may be for you, is like, you're happy and you could heal, and you're just like, okay. But when you're not well and you're a little ill, then it shows up like a really dark green, like a forest green, like dark green. And it just means you're going through it, you need some healing, some energetic work, because it needs to get lighter. You're probably in a sucky environment that doesn't allow you to express yourself, to feel like you could really do the things that you enjoy, right? And you always know you're going in the right direction too. When you get excited about things, like nobody has to tell you to do that thing, you just jump into it, you do it naturally, it just makes you happy. And it's like, oh, okay. If you're ever down in your dump, do whatever makes you happy, and it'll naturally turn your energy to a lighter green. All right. Now let's go to your solar plex. Now your solar plex is your powerhouse. That's your willpower. That's like, I am getting shit done. I am manifesting. I am designing through fear, through excitement, through everything. Like you're just gonna go for it and do it. And that is like, shows up like a gold color, a sun color, like very loud. when I am scared and I know I got to do something, I need some courage, I really tune into this area. Um, I do. I do, especially if I'm trying to get things done, you know? Because sometimes it takes more than just your mind and your heart. Sometimes your mind might get you confused, and your heart, well, your heart's your heart. And sometimes we need our willpower. You're like, okay, it's gonna take willpower to order to get some things done, and that's the area you connect to, right? In order to get things done. Now, let's go to your sacral area. Now, your sacral area, that shows up an orange color. Uh, yeah, an orange color, a beautiful orange color. For some reason, when I'm looking at it in my eye, like I kind of see like the orange kind of getting into like a little bit of red and then a little bit of yellow, but it's more orange than anything else. But that's your creative space, right? This is the space where you're designing, you're creating, you're planning, you're doing things. This is like your planning stage. You're designing, but in the background, like you're not pushing it out yet. That's why, you know, when you get pregnant, that's your sacral. It takes you 9 months to create before you actually manifest the baby. So the same thing with a job, a career, or whatever, like, you know what I mean? You connect to your creativity side. And it allows you to kind of, it does two things. And one, it allows you to get to your creative side, but two, it also brings balance into your life. Like it has a way of naturally balancing things out. So if you're creating and you're designing something and you are too fixated into that, to the point that you forget about life, then you'll probably turn into like a dark orange because you're designing, but it's like you still, people, don't forget, you know, you still got life to live, things of that nature. But it's beautiful when you're in your creative zone. Just don't become an isolated hermit for too long. But becoming an isolated hermit sometimes is necessary. So pick your battles. That's all I gotta say. All right, now we're gonna go to our root. Now your root, that shows up to me, I see it in two colors. Well, a combination of colors, but mostly somewhere between, like it starts off red and then it ends up black. But I would say like red, brown, gray, black, that kind of, those kind of colors. But red shows up as like, rawr, you're in rage. But um, when it's like a lighter red, you are grounded, you are focused, you're grounded, you're connected to the earth. In this, I really feel with the black, like if you want to be really, really grounded and not be in your head so much and really focus into what it is that you're doing in that present moment, black is such a beautiful color. But when I say black, I do not mean a matted black. I mean like a shiny black, like a black, like obsidian black. Obsidian has a beautiful shine to it. I'm trying to think of another color. Kind of like if black were to have silver, like it's just like there's like a shine to it. But anyway, that gets you so grounded. It becomes like, not only do you get connected to the earth in this way, if you really, really want to connect to Mother Nature and things of that nature, you get focused, you get present, and you don't have so many thoughts, I want to say. Like, not necessarily empty, you just got like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm not thinking about anything else kind of vibe. And the reason why I say this is because remember I was talking about the white colors, like it's like, oh, if you want, we're literally looking for clarity and you want to see the clearer, like the bigger picture and the clearer picture, I would say focus on white and clear with your crown. But sometimes when we're too in tune with everything that's happening, you just want to like empty that out and be like, oh no, I want to be isolated for a little bit and just focus on me and be grounded. Then I would go with a black, but like a shimmery black, that kind of. If you're into stones, tourmaline, obsidian, those, that kind of color. That's basically your chakra system. This is your chakra system, and I like to focus in on colors, and you could bring in colors into your life, because the thing is about the chakra system, the way that I associate the chakra system is the same way how I associate it with the moon and if I'm talking about tarot, then I would associate it with like the minor arcana, because the thing is that it's always consistently changing and moving and evolving. It's not fixed. These colors aren't fixed. They change because we change. Our moods change and things of that nature. And yeah, and they could also help you manifest. I'm gonna give you a quick example how working with your chakra system could help you manifest. So let's say you get this beautiful business idea. It just comes in. You're like, oh my gosh, I know what it is that I need to do. I just know, right? And then I could see it with my third eye. I'm like, yes, 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 this feels good to me. I could see it. And then you speak it into existence and you start saying whatever it is, right? And then your heart, your corazón gets so excited. You're like, yes, this feels good. And you get to your solar plex, right? This is your powerhouse. This is your time to execute. And then you go out to the world and you're like, I am scared, I can't do this. And you turn around and you don't get it done. You become your first no, because fear kicked in. And that's when you need your willpower, because sometimes it is scary out there to go out to the world to do the thing that it is that you want to do, right? But if you really, really want it, sometimes it takes your willpower to push through it. And in this sense, you know what I mean? If you have a block in your solar plex, then your vision stops right there. And then that's when they say, oh, that's when they're talking about a block. But like, let's say it's clear. Let's say it's just like, no, I'm gonna get brave and do it anyway. I don't care if people laugh at me. I don't care what people think. It's like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And then when you do it, then you go over there, you're like, okay, this is what I'm gonna execute. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sign up for this program, I'm gonna do this. And now I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to study about it. I'm going to make designs about this. And you're putting it on your calendar, because the thing is that there's a certain day where you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna show it to the world on this day. On the day that you decided to show it to the world, that's your day of manifestation. That right there is your root. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that helped you here today. And you guys have an amazing day. And I don't know what else to say. Just have an amazing day. I hope that you guys learned a lot. Bye.